Hey scholars, it's Mrs. Jasnica, and we're back with another Draw With Me challenge. This week we're going to be drawing a spaceship in outer space. This is a kindergarten through 6th grade assignment. What you'll need for this project is a paper, a pencil, and something to color with, like markers, crayons, or colored pencils. Alright, let's go back to the art room. Hey kindergarten through 6th grade, we're going to be drawing a spaceship in outer space. So to begin, we want to make sure that our paper is in the correct position. We want our paper to be sideways. That means it's horizontal, long ways, going left to right, not like this. Now that we have our paper in the correct position, we're going to be starting off by finding the middle of the paper. So the middle of the paper is right around here. We're going to be drawing our rocket ship going that way. So from the middle out that way. It always helps to find the middle of the paper so we know how big to make everything. Now what we're going to be doing is a spaceship and a few planets and some stars. But we're going to start with the spaceship. So again, the middle is right around here. And from this area, we're going to make a spaceship pointing that way. So let's go ahead and begin. Now there's two ways that we can make the shape of our spaceship. I'm going to be doing kind of what looks like a fancy V, but I will show you another way to do it on the back of the paper. So I'm going to show you my way first, and then I'll show you another way. So the first thing we're going to do is, again, this is the middle. We're going to be making the bottom of the spaceship around the middle of the paper and the point of the spaceship going this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make what looks like two parentheses or two curved lines. I'm going to make a little point right here to let me know that this is the point of my spaceship, the very front of my spaceship. And I'm going to make a curved line going down a little past the middle of the paper. So as you can see, this is not a straight line, it's a little bit curved. If I turn it this way, you can see it looks like a happy face. Now I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to curve from here down to right around the same area that this line is at. That doesn't look very curvy. I'll fix it later. So this one's not as curvy as this one. You know what? Let me go ahead and just fix it now. I shouldn't be lazy, right? That's better. Alright, so as you can see, these two lines are not touching anything, and this sort of looks like the letter V. Another way that you can do the front of the spaceship is you can just make a letter U. So I'm going to go ahead and curve it this way just to show you the same way that we did the front one. You can make a letter U. So the only difference between my way and this way is that the front of your spaceship will be round instead of pointy. But you can still do it the same way. Either way is fine. So let's go back to the front. And now we're going to be making the bottom of the spaceship. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make two parentheses right here in the middle, and I'll show you how that looks in a second. This is going to look a lot like the shape of a leaf. So here's one line, and you can see it's curved a lot like this one. I am putting this in between these two lines, and we're going to be making a leaf shape. Now you're probably like, Miss Jasnica, what in the world is this? Well, this is part of one of the wings of the spaceship. So we're going to be making a couple of these. Two of them are going to be on the side. One of them is going to be here, and the other one you can't see because it's on the other side of the spaceship. All right, now let's make the other two. So this shape, if it was on the side, is just going to be one curved line coming back up to here, which is the bottom of the spaceship. So let's make that line. We're going to make a curved line like this. And then from here to here, we're just going to make another either straight line or a little bit curved. Now it's starting to look a little more like a spaceship, right? It's okay that there's nothing here yet. I'll show you what's going to go there in a moment. Let's do the other side. Again, from right around here, same place that these two started, we're going to be making a curved line coming down to around here. So from here, making a curved line, looks a little bit like a sad face. And from here, we're going to come up until we hit the line that we drew, this V shape or U shape for some of you. So you can see this looks like the bottom of a spaceship now, a little more at least. Now we have to make the, I guess you can call them the flames, that come shooting out to make the spaceship move. So first of all, I want to close the spaceship off. I'm just going to make a line from this corner right here, so where the end of this little pointy thing is, until I hit this leaf shape. So to do that, I'm just going to go like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go from this corner right here until I hit this leaf shape in the middle. Oh, I messed up. There we go. Doesn't look perfect, but again, I can always fix anything when I outline at the end. All right, let's keep going. So now we're going to be making the part where it's called the exhaust, but the part where all of the flames come out, and this helps propel the spaceship out in outer space. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to make an L shape and a backwards L shape. So starting from right around here, somewhere in between here, we're going to make a line going down and a line hitting this leaf shape. And you can see that literally looks like the letter L. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side, but it's going to be a backwards letter L. So we're making a line going down and then a line coming in like a backwards letter L. Now we're going to be making the flames. So to do this, there's a lot of different ways. You can make it super fancy if you want, and I can show you a couple of ways to do it. But we're gonna do a pretty easy way. It's not gonna be too bad. Now, this is a kindergarten through 6th grade lesson, so we're gonna do an easier way over here, and then I can show you another couple cool examples on the back. So the way we're going to do this is we're gonna start with 2 curved lines, one here and one here. Like this. And like this. And now we're going to make a little V shape. So it's gonna go like this. And like this. You can see how it kind of looks like a little V. Make this one a little bit longer. And now from here to here, we're gonna make a letter V, a kind of curvy letter V. And that's gonna be the end of our flames. So to do that, we could make a little dot here to help you out, right in the middle. And then I'm gonna make a curved line and a curved line. So here we go. 1, 2. And there are my semi-easy flames. So let me show you. You can make your flames look however you want. And if you look up pictures of fire, you can see that fire can look all kinds of really, really cool ways. So just to give you some examples, let's say that here is the exhaust. Bloop. And I want to make some cool flames. I can make them going like this. Now you're probably like, Mr. Jasnica, I can't do that. well, you're kind of making it look like grass, right? So you can make all kinds of really weird shapes, and they don't have to be perfect. See, I'm just doing whatever. And it kind of looks like hair, doesn't it? And then if you want to make more, you can make more weird looking lines like this, and it will look even cooler than what we just did. So the more of these weird sections you add, you can make one of them red, one of them yellow, orange, whatever, and they'll look really, really awesome. Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, wow, I'm glad that you didn't do that on the front because that's too difficult, let me show you again. Now, each time that I do this, it's going to look different because I'm just doing wiggly lines, but all you have to do is make a line and then bring it in. Make another wiggly line, bring it in, and you just keep doing this. You just make lines, and they curve at the end, and that's how you make it look kind of like fire. Now remember, fire moves non-stop, so it's not like it has any physical shape. It kind of just does whatever. So you don't have to make it look perfect. These are two ways that you can do it if you want to make it look more realistic, but again, it's really not that big of a deal. And where there's fire, there's probably smoke, so you can definitely add some little bumps that look like clouds to make it look even more like fire that's being pushed out. All right, let's go back to the front. So sorry for anybody who wasn't following along with that. We're over here now. Let's do one last detail on this plane, wow, on this spaceship. We're gonna be putting a little circle right here, kind of like a little window looking out. And of course, if you want to, you can draw yourself inside of it. All I did was a little circle, and if you want, you could put another little circle. Let me fix that. Oh, my goodness. There we go. And you can see I smeared the paper a little, but no big deal. Like I said, I can always erase it at the end. So now we have most of our spaceship. We can add any final details. So some of the things that you can add to make the spaceship look more realistic is, for example, you can add little metal lines or little circles to make it look like bolts, nuts and bolts. So just to give you an example, I'm going to make a line going across right here, like that. And then I'm going to add a couple of little circles to make it look like really metallic. But these are just extra details. You know, Miss Jasnica always likes to add details. You never have to ask permission to add more details to your drawing. Now, if this spaceship just left planet Earth, let's say, it would probably have, it'd probably look like planet Earth is somewhere down here, right? Or, you know, maybe it's leaving off Mars. I have no idea. But we're gonna draw a planet right here at the bottom. So we can't draw the whole planet. We're gonna draw a curved line going from the right-hand side of the paper all the way down to the bottom of the paper, okay? Now, the reason we're doing this is so that we know that this spaceship just blasted off and just left, let's say, Earth's atmosphere. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going from the left side of the paper, or excuse me, the right side of the paper, all the way down to the bottom. Now, it doesn't have to be as big as mine, but I'm making a curved line going from the right all the way down. And actually, I'm going to make it a little more round. Now, because this flame is in the way, I'm going to go through it, but I'm not going to draw on top of it. That doesn't look very good either. That's a little better. Okay, so here is, I'm gonna say this is Earth. But now we have to make other planets that are further away. So because this planet is really close, you can't see the whole thing, you can only see a part of the planet. But planets that are really, really far away, we're gonna be able to see the whole thing. So what we're gonna do is draw some medium-sized circles anywhere you want. And I'm gonna put 2 on mine. There's a lot of space here, and there's a lot of space over here. So I'm gonna put a circle over here and a circle over here. And these are gonna be planets far, far away. So I'm going to make one over here. There's one circle. And of course we can always add really cool details to make it look like there's continents or something on it. But for right now I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'll figure out what color I'll make it later. And now I'm gonna do another one over here. Now some planets like Saturn, for example, have rings around them. So we can always put some rings around our planet. Let me fix this. Oops. See, I got a new eraser, and I think the pink one's actually better. Maybe I should go back to my pink eraser. All right. Now, you know what? I'm gonna put a ring around this one. So, you don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can follow along with Mrs. Jasnica. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a ring going in front and then going behind, but it's gonna get cut off. So to do this, do I want my ring to go this way or this way? I think I want it to curve that way. So I'm gonna turn my paper just a little, and I'm going to start at this corner over here, and I'm gonna make a line that looks like a curved line. It's gonna go in front and then behind. So again, we're starting on the right hand side, we're curving, and we're going in front and then coming back this way. And if you want it to have like a little more shape than just a straight line, you can always make another line here. So for example, let's do this. There we go. So now it looks like it's a little fatter. And again, I can always erase, because we would have to erase this little part right here and this little part right here to make it look like a ring. But remember, I always outline mine, so it ends up looking different later anyway when I outline. So again, you don't have to do the ring, but it is kind of cool, you know? And you can always put little meteors in the sky, meteors, or little pieces of rocks in the sky like this. So we can always have little pieces of rocks just floating in outer space. There's all kinds of things in outer space. Literally everything is in outer space, right? We're in outer space. So here's my little rocks. And now we're gonna make stars. And there's so many different ways that we can make stars in the sky. So there's, of course, the way that everybody knows, which is what an actual drawing of a star looks like. I'm gonna turn my paper for this. Let's draw it right here. So here is what we draw stars to look like, which actually, stars don't look anything like this at all. But this is what we think of when we think of a star, right? So you're probably like, Miss Jasnica, that's actually pretty hard to do. I don't know how you're doing it so fast. So before I do this on the front of my paper, I'm gonna show you an easy way to do this kind of star. Even though technically this is gonna be the hardest way to do the star, because this isn't what stars actually look like. Stars actually look like circles, but they're so far away. So they would look like circles anyway, right? but we draw them like this. So anyway, let's go ahead and learn how to do a star. I'm going to do one right here. The first thing we're going to do is an upside down V. Okay. That's a pretty fat V. You know what? Let's make it a little skinnier real quick before we continue. We don't want it to be so wide because then I'm going to have a really fat star. So I'm going to make a kind of skinny V. Like that. Now, we're going to make 2 lines coming out of it. Like this. So, I did not make them straight. I made them slightly slanted. Now we're going to make the letter W underneath. If you put it too close, you're not going to have enough space for these 2 pieces of the star. If you put it all the way down here, you're going to have some really fat V's on the side. So, I'm going to make a letter W a little bit away. See? So now I have an upside down V, a W, and my V has wings. Okay? Now all I have to do is connect this part here to here. Bloop and bloop. Now is it perfect? No. But did that help you make a star? Maybe. Let's do it one more time real quick. A letter V. I'm going to do it quick this time. Wings on my V. A W. And then you connect the W to the top. Bam. Done. That is a star. Now, you might have been doing this practicing with me, or you maybe did it already on your paper. So, I'm going to do maybe 2 of these on the front of my paper, and then the rest we're going to do other kinds of stars. So, I'm going to make 1 star. And I don't make it the same way that I told you guys because I already know how to make a star. There's other ways to make stars, and I'll show you in a moment. Let me just add a few stars to my sky. There we go. These are pretty big. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make 1 more, and it's going to be tiny. Right over here. There we go. Okay, let's go to the back of the paper again so I can show you another couple ways to make stars. Another way that you can make stars is you can do a method of lines. You're like, what, Miss Jasnica? Hold on. So, we're going to start at the top, and we're going to make a line going down diagonally. Like this. We're making a sideways V, okay? So, 1, 2. Now we're going to go straight across. 3, 4, 5. You've probably seen people do this before. I'm going to do it again. So, diagonal line, and then like this, we made a V. It's a sideways V. From here, we're not going to go up to here. We're going to go straight across, like that. We make this really weird shape that looks like a triangle with 2 sticks coming out of it. Then we're going to go down. And from here, we're going to go up. And I can do this really fast. Once you learn how to do it, it's not too bad at all. So this is another way to make stars. It takes 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is more for like maybe 5th and 6th graders. Now, let's make a really simple star, okay? The way we're going to do this is we're going to make a fancy letter V. I'm going to go like this and like this. Notice how it kind of looks like 2 parentheses not facing each other. So this would be parentheses facing each other. This would be like the opposite. So it's a upside down V and upside down V. And now we're going to do it again down here. And this kind of looks like a shining little star. So again, upside down V, really fancy one, and then a regular V. And you can make as many of these as you want. They kind of look like little shining diamonds, right? But again, you can definitely see these because the shape of a star isn't even like this, it's a circle. And did you know that not all stars are yellow or even light yellow or anything like that? Some of them are actually light blue or red, but they're so far away you can't tell. So to us, they just look like they're white or light yellow. All right, let's make these other stars. Here's one, and I'm gonna make another one over here. And if these are too difficult for you, I will show you the easiest way to make a star in just a moment. You're probably wondering why we did the hard ones first. There we go. So I'm just making a few of those around the paper. Let's do one more down here. There we go. I messed that one up, but not a big deal. Man, I messed it up even more. There we go. Now, the easiest, literally easiest way to make a star is to make it the shape that it actually is, which is a circle, give or take. So I am going to make some small stars in the sky that are circles. This would be the easiest way to do this if you're in kindergarten or first grade, and actually it's the most real star. Stars don't look like this in the sky. So let's make them look real, right? I'm gonna make a bunch of little circles. And hey, if you know any constellations, you can always put your stars in a certain order to make them look like the Big Dipper or the Little Dipper, or maybe you can make them look like whatever you want if you know any constellations in the sky. I'm just gonna be making little circles, not really paying attention to where they are or anything like that, but I want a lot of stars in my sky, so I'm gonna make a lot of circles. Okay, I think I am ready to outline and color in. All right, scholars, here is my finished artwork. I think this is actually my favorite drawing that I've done with you guys this school year. I am in love with this drawing. So let me first say that one thing that I tried with the background was, instead of using one color, I just used a whole bunch of colors. And I thought going from pink to purple to blue to black was just great, instead of leaving the sky completely black. So when we're doing outer space, there's actually tons of really, really cool nebulas and different kinds of like stuff in the atmosphere in space. And it's not all just one color. So I thought this would look really cool, and I'm so happy that I did it. Now it's time for me to see what you guys were working on.